Hey guys, Rob, Eric, Joe, Al, whoever. I just want to show you a quick unboxing of this GW scenery. I picked up the Sector Mechanicus Galvanic Serovohaulers. That's a lot to say for cranes. I mean, really, that's just ridiculous, but whatever. I thought they were pretty cool. It's got a cool look to it. Goes with some of the Mechanicus scenery which I have. So I wanted to get something to just have some scatter terrain and some stuff on the table, and something to kind of move these things around, these little shipping containers. I'll do another video on that. These are from Reaper Bones. Came out a few years back. Really cool, really affordable, really easy to work with, but I'll do another video on that later. But it gives me something to crank around with these little cranes there. And I really like the Mechanicus look to them, you know. It's a bit much with all the skulls on everything, and the cogs and the gears and the steampunky look, but I don't know, just for that theme, that Martian, you know, Mechanicus theme, it just fits. You know, it's pretty cool that they did, you know, they added this. So let's go on ahead and pop that open with my trusty knife. I know some people don't like knives, but you know, hey, we use them every day. Close that up, being safe. Looks like there's 3 pieces and some little bits there like the toolbox, which is cool. And alright, I'm going to take all this out. We got the instructions. Looks pretty straightforward. And it looks like, yep, looks like a scenario. Yeah, there's a scenario here. You guys take a look at that. It including the scenery. It's kind of cool. Some of the scenery pieces have special rules that go with them, which I think is kind of cool. It adds another element to the game. I know Age of Sigmar does it a lot. 40K, we've always had rules for scenery, you know, like cover and line of sight blocking and things like, which are pretty much the primary things you need. But it's cool that they added other things. Like some scenery gives certain types of models pluses or minuses and things like that. That I always thought that that kind of element to a game gives you more depth to your game, and it gives you more to think about when you're pushing your army across the field, because I've played hundreds of games where my opponent is literally like a machine, just army moving forward regardless of what's on the table, regardless of what terrain is. They don't pay attention to features. When you stop them and say, hey, that hill is 1.5 inches high, you're gonna have to subtract that from your movement when you charge, and they're like, it's just a hill, dude, it doesn't really matter, they're gonna get there anyway, and you wind up back and forth about it. This is, you know, it's just one of those things, you know what I mean? I've always liked that scenery played elements or had elements to play in a game. Anyways, you get 2 sprues. Here they are. I don't know if you can see them very well. Let's do this. It's really cool. This stuff is really heavy, kind of like the Rise of Pattern Ruins. You know, it's the same plastic. It's that Chinese-made plastic. It says produced in the UK, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Maybe the box was produced in UK. There's a little toolbox there. That's really So cool. The details you don't have to add, but you did. When to fill up, there's a little fire extinguisher or fuel tank or whatever that is. But you know, again, little details you didn't have to add, but just doing that makes the kit that much more involved, you know. So again, that thick, you can actually see it, it's like really thick there, you know. They say it's got less detail than some of their older kits, but you know what, in all honesty, that doesn't bother me. As a painter of this stuff, I love scenery. Any of my friends, you know, anybody knows me will tell you I love scenery, I love terrain, I love details in it, even little nuances, you know, like the toolbox and the gas thing. And look, the little servo skull again, you know, things like that. Really interesting, really involving. It tells stories, and it helps scenery tell stories, which I think is really cool. A lot of people don't care, and that's fine. You know, it's just a piece of stuff to move your guys around or in or whatever. But I don't know, I just always liked that stuff. So to me, this is adequate, if not above adequate, for games of like 40K. And it's strong. This is like hard stuff. So you can set this down on your table and not be afraid. Like if someone knocks it over, you know, it's like, oh, dude, you ruined my, you know, custom-made piece of scenery that took me 3 years to make, and you know, eggshells. You know, not to say that that's what it is, but this is durable. And I've always told my friends at the clubhouse, always, when you build scenery, when you're going to make scenery, and you're going to do that kind of project, unfortunately, you have to think practically above theatrical. You know, so when you build a building and you're going to put floors on it for miniatures to stand on, you have to presume that that building should be able to support those minis. Because if you go to play a game and someone comes to your clubhouse or whatever, and they start putting their very expensive, very heavy metal miniatures on there, and it collapses, not only have you ruined your scenery, but you've probably ruined someone's model. So you're better off building things, you know, practical. So, you know, steps and road, you know, walkways wind up looking a little bigger than they would normally look. You know, they're not measured precisely architecturally, but they'll support your models. And in the end, that's what this stuff is for, right? It's for your miniature games. So, you know, you want to make sure you build something that's can support the weight of all these things, you know. But that's the Galvanic Serovohaulers, the the Sector Mechanicus scenery. I don't know why I always say Adeptus Mechanicus. I don't know why I always, but anyway, that's the scenery piece. I think it's pretty cool. Gonna paint it up, probably just like this. I like this color. I've always liked that for construction vehicles. And add it to our table. Hopefully we can get some games going, and you know, maybe do some reports on that. All right, thanks for watching, guys.